This is a major problem for the New York Knicks. According to an NBA insider, he notes that Julius Randle's recovery is taking longer than expected. And internally, the New York Knicks are absolutely concerned. We're going to break down these latest reports, why the Knicks are concerned, and what this could mean for Julius Randle and when he could return for the New York Knicks. All of this and so much more today. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. And make sure you have notifications turned on so you don't miss a second of the new content. And now, let's get started. Julius Randle's return is in jeopardy. That's right, folks. Randle was supposed to return a few weeks ago. If you guys remember, before OG Anunoby was scheduled to return, Randle was stated that he was going to probably return. He was actually scheduled to return a little bit before Anunoby, but nothing ever happened. He was progressing well. He was hitting his milestones, but then there was a drop-off in communication about Randle and his progress. And now we know why. Internally, the New York Knicks are concerned because Randle was supposed to be cleared for contact much earlier, but he has not been cleared for contact with his team yet. Only contact with pads. And apparently, because of this, a lot of people internally within the New York Knicks organization are showing significant concern. Let's break down these latest reports about Randle and his recovery from injury. According to Ian Bagley, SNY NBA insider, he notes that there's concerns for Julius Randle at the moment. Randle's comeback is taking longer than expected, and that's raising concerns. Ian Bagley from SNY notes the following. Randle, however, has not been cleared for contact, meaning that he has only been practicing taking shots and not actually engaging in physical contact with others, only with the pads as we've reported earlier on this channel. Bagley continues here and gives us the following information about Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and a couple of other key Knicks and their return. According to Bagley, Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson also are going to travel with the Knicks on the West Coast trip, which is also a good sign for those two. But with Randle, you know he had been doing everything except taking contact. Everything that Anunoby had been doing prior to taking contact for a long time. And Randle hasn't been cleared yet for contact. And there is some concern about why it's taking so long. According to SNY reporter Ian Bagley, this is something Anunoby has already been doing for weeks, taking contact. Therefore, it may be several more weeks before Randle can return, as he still needs to be cleared for contact. This could put the Knicks' aspirations in jeopardy as the playoffs begin in under 6 weeks. This could be a major setback for Julius Randle and the New York Knicks. The Knicks were obviously hoping to get Randle, Mitchell Robinson, and OG Anunoby back this month, so that way the Knicks get fully healthy, get more deep, and obviously have additional time to gain chemistry together, gain footing together, and go into the playoffs not only fully healthy, but also a well-oiled machine that can take on any team. If they're still trying to figure out chemistry in the postseason, that could mean an issue for the New York Knicks trying to establish a deep postseason run. So that's the only thing we have to think about with regards to this and Julius Randle. The Knicks did not need this news, though. This is honestly the worst news the Knicks could actually get at this point in time. Julius Randle, their 3-time All-Star, is needed for the New York Knicks. He is needed healthy if the Knicks want to have a deep playoff push. They cannot have a deep playoff push, in my opinion, without Julius Randle being on that floor for them, because he just does so much, commands so much attention, draws so many defenders, and he's such a high-level basketball player that he knows how to pass out of that, find the open man, and make sure they get an open shot. That's what the Knicks need right now more than anything else. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's looked good. With Randle, he's looked better. Alec Burks has not looked good at all. With Julius Randle, he'll look even better. Jalen Brunson, he's looked good. But honestly, we've seen him struggle without Julius Randle occasionally. If Randle was in those games, he would take the pressure off of Brunson and allow Brunson a little bit more lane in the paint to operate and work, because Randle takes defenders off of Brunson as well too. Randle also finds Brunson when he's open, cutting, or finding some type of space on the corner. That's what Randle does as well too. I think sometimes when we see this Knicks team and we see them winning, hustling, showing their heart, showing their passion. I think sometimes we forget about Randle, his impact, and what he means to this Knicks team. And that's a dangerous game to play because Randle, when fully healthy, if we forgot that month of January, the Knicks without Mitchell Robinson was dominating the league. That was before we had Bojan and Burks. If we had them during that stretch, the Knicks would probably have been blowing out teams by even more of a large margin. That's how much Julius would have utilized Bojan and Burks because he understands the type of killers those guys are, the assassins they are in the corners, and all around the perimeter when open. And because of that, he would have taken advantage of that and played more bully ball. And honestly, guys, if Ian Begley is concerned, if the Knicks internally are reportedly concerned, if Randle has not progressed to taking contact, which is the next milestone for him, and he's not reached that point yet, then honestly, guys, right now, I'm very concerned. I'm very concerned about Randle, when he could return for the New York Knicks, and potentially when, if ever this season, he's going to move to taking contact. There's a reason he hasn't done that yet. Maybe he feels uncomfortable. Maybe the medical staff feels uncomfortable. Maybe they feel hesitant about doing so because they think if they do, he could dislocate it again, re-injure it again, and then he'll be on the shelf for longer periods of time. Maybe that's the concern. If that's the case, it's all pointing for me that he needs surgery now versus later. Because if they're concerned about him taking any type of contact, even slight contact, I don't think it makes any sense for him to return, have more damage done to the shoulder, play through the pain because we know that's what Randle's going to do. Maybe he'll miss training camp and the start of the season if he puts undue stress on that shoulder right now. I'm sure his camp, Julius Randle, and the Knicks medical staff are considering all of these things, all of these factors, and everything they've been witnessing while he's been practicing and warming up. I'm sure all of these aspects are factors being considered by Julius Randle, his camp, and the New York Knicks medical staff. You got to figure that they have to consider everything as well as the best interest of the player and his health. And if all of those things don't line up right now, they're going to hesitate, they're going to wait, and they're going to be patient. And I think that's exactly what they're doing with Randle. And maybe the reason the doctors haven't cleared him yet is because there still is significant concern that he can do more damage to that shoulder right now. So maybe he's not fully healthy to take contact yet. And that is significant because you got to think about how taking contact actually works. You don't go straight back to practice. Taking contact starts with 1-on-1s, then 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s, full practice, contact drills, and then contact without limitations, and then practice without limitations. That is how the New York Knicks need to work Julius Randle back. That's not a 1-week process. That's not a 2-week process. That's not a 3-week process. That's several additional weeks that Julius Randle is likely going to have to miss in order for him to recover and get back on the floor for the New York Knicks, which might mean that his recovery time of him coming back in March is absolutely in jeopardy right now. He could be pushing it more toward April. Now, this could be a good thing in disguise because Julius Randle getting more rest, getting more opportunity to rest, a player who doesn't like to rest. And if he was available, he would likely be playing each and every game, heavy minutes, because when he's available, he does not like to miss time for the Knicks. We've already known that, and that's been established ever since the New York Knicks got Julius Randle. So we already know that. But maybe for Randle's own good, the medical staff wants to hold him out just a few more weeks, make sure he's fully healthy and fully good before he starts taking contact. I'm okay with it if that's what they're doing, but they have to communicate that. If they're not communicating that, and all we're hearing is that it's a concern for Julius Randle right now because he's not moved on to the next step that he should have moved on to a few weeks ago, hearing it that way is going to concern every single New York Knicks fan, including myself. They have to speak out about this. They have to acknowledge it, and they have to make sure the public understands that Julius Randle is either okay or he's going to need additional time or maybe something else is going on. Either way, that transparency from the New York Knicks is needed right now because without it, everybody's going to make up their own narrative, think what they're going to think, and it's going to turn into chaos. The Knicks need to quell the chaos. The way they do that is to make a statement. I hope Julius Randle's doing okay. I'm not sure why he hasn't taken contact with other players yet. Again, he's been taking contact with the pads. He's been doing that for a while. We know that, but not taking any type of player contact yet. Or even if he's taking maybe light player contact, but it hasn't progressed even past that, because there are concerns right now from the medical staff. That in itself is significant and something we need to look at. I hope Randle can push past this, come back this season, and have no issues with that shoulder. But the fact that he has not been cleared for contact when he should have been back a little bit before OG Anunoby, that is absolutely concerning. I hope we get an update shortly on Randle and when we can expect him back on the court. But if everything is looking like it's looking right now, then I gotta say, he still has weeks to go before he has to go through contact drills and go through full practice. That means we're likely not going to see Randle until maybe April at best? And that is a long ways away from the March timeline that we expected. And to quote Ian Begley again, Randle hasn't been cleared for contact yet, and there is some concern about why it's taking so long. And the only way for the New York Knicks to quell that concern is by releasing a statement. Once they do that, we'll have more updates, more official updates on Randle and his status. But as of right now, this update from Ian Begley has me absolutely concerned, just like apparently the New York Knicks are internally. But what about you guys? What do you think about this concerning update about Julius Randle and his recovery from injury? Let me know in the comments below, guys, because honestly, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below. And of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.